Walaikum. Welcome back to Hilaal Live. Thanks for watching us on channel 347, also on our live stream, www.hilaal.tv. Now, if you remember a couple of months ago, I had this young man with his team in studio chatting about a very exciting event, and we're very proud to speak about this event and showcase this event because it's part of our community, and it's community projects that have blossomed into something that's now on the world stage. And if you wonder what I'm talking about, it's the second Africa International Youth Kung Fu Championship that's taking place on the 2nd and the 3rd of March at Fairbairn College, which is only 5 days away. Can you believe? And in studio, I'd like to welcome World Kung Fu Champion MJ Lee. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Great to be back with you. Great to be back on the Hilaal platform.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, 5 days away. I'm nervous. Stop saying that, please.
When we spoke about this wonderful championship, it was a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Logistics, planning, all of that type of thing. For those of our viewers that are just learning about it wherever they are, give us a brief history on how this all came together.
You know, Luqmaan, for me, it's actually not a coincidence. Simply because when we launched the dates for the 2024 championship happening now in 5 days, as you rightly mentioned, the first media interview we did was with you on Hilaal Live. And now this is practically our last media interview before we close up shop and then head to the venue tomorrow afternoon for setup, etc. So it's no coincidence. You started it with us. Hilaal started it with us. That was the end of August last year.
Can you believe
where we just touched on it briefly, and we had Sinawo in studio, and now we're on the doorstep.
Do you know what? It's amazing that you bring that up, because when I did that interview and I was thinking about, it's actually a long way away.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? 6 months down the line, we're here already. What's the preparations like? I mean, is it all systems go? Are there obviously last minute touches?
As we speak to viewers in South Africa and all over the world, the following countries have left their capital cities traveling to South Africa and will be arriving in the mother city. At 2 o'clock this morning, the team from Malawi departed from Blantyre. They'll be arriving in Cape Town, South Africa on Friday morning, because it's multiple borders they need to cross. The Zambian team also left from Lusaka.
Wait, hold on, they're driving down?
By bus, yes.
Wow.
The dynamic in Africa, we have our own challenges that we face, and it's literally a monumental task that I had to take on to try and bring Africa together, simply because all the African countries, all 6 of them that will assemble here over this weekend, I've arranged for sponsorship and funding for their transport, for their accommodation, and even their breakfast daily. If we do not put these interventions into place, I'm sorry, it's going to be very, very difficult.
Stunning. Okay, so who are the other countries?
Okay, so Malawi left this morning for South Africa. Zambia left also this morning from Lusaka. Zimbabwe left from Harare this morning. Tomorrow, Botswana will leave midday from the capital city, Gaborone. The Joburg team from Boksburg, Kickfit SA, they arrive tomorrow. They're flying in. Dynamic a little bit different compared to Africa, but we're happy to have them with us. Our Western Cape team representing SA Jingwu and the MJ Lee Kung Fu Foundation, obviously in the province already. And then Mozambique, also 3 athletes that will be arriving on Friday. So in essence, the entire SADC region, for the very first time, South Africa, wallahi, South Africa is making history. I know a lot is happening over this weekend with the Ramadan Souk of Spice Maker. You guys are going to be very busy. And there's so many other events. But our event was earmarked. It's an official event of the city of Cape Town, because the local government, they are our strategic partner. And we're thankful for their support. Otherwise, we would not have been able to execute what we are in the process of doing. So it's literally all systems go. I think probably an extra cup of coffee, or in my case, maybe that extra cup of green tea would be needed. Maybe 2 or 3 extra. Very little sleep now, because I have the responsibility of hosting Southern Africa arriving here. More than 150 athletes are competing over this weekend in Kata in forms, Kunfu, and also group events synchronized, as well as the Sanda, the Chinese kickboxing.
Wow. Once again, congratulations on pulling this all together.
Cool.
Not only is it such a feat for South Africa, but also for the MJ Lee Foundation, and more importantly, for the communities that you've attended and visited over the last very many years, where you've taken Kung Fu, martial arts, discipline, and so many other dynamics to our communities, which we're going to interview a young man a bit later as well, who is the captain of the youth, the South African youth team. But we are the defending champions at the moment.
Yes, we are.
How many do we have in the team?
So we've got a very strong team.
Okay.
We have 40 athletes aged between 11 and 19.
Nice.
We have 2 athletes in the open category, 20 years of age. That's a very small category because we want to maintain Africa Youth Kung Fu Championship.
Gotcha.
Because there are other competitions that the open athletes 20 years plus could be competing in. So yes, you rightfully mentioned we are defending champions on the basis that the inaugural tournament that took place last year in Cape Town, my SA youth team faced off against the Botswana youth team in the finals. And Sinawo Yola, as the captain then, still retaining the captaincy this year, he led the team to victory, but it was a smaller team.
Okay.
It was 25 athletes.
Right.
So we've added on 15 more because training has increased and we've got some fantastic talent from Langa and Nyanga and Bontjewel. If I look at 14-year-old Saneze, and Lelona, Iletu, Lucas, I see a lot of promise and potential.
Is Luqmaan still in the team?
Luqmaan is, he has reduced his consumption of steak Gatsby's, which I believe is like a once a week thing for him. So he's cut back on that.
Yeah, not this Luqmaan, the other Luqmaan. Yeah. He's a lot fitter than I am and a lot handsomer. And he's a brilliant young man. I mean,
he is.
You know, and this all comes from your tutelage over the years, getting them in discipline, getting them into Kung Fu, like all the other athletes that are representing South Africa as well. Mixture of girls and boys?
Absolutely. We do have quite a few girls. It's a bit disappointing, the African teams that are coming. Not that many girls. Botswana, though, they have at least about a half a dozen girls in their squad of 20. They are the strong team because they match us in terms of numbers. And they will face off on Sunday, the 3rd of March, in the grand finale.
In the finals last year.
Yes, so
they've got a point to prove.
Look, I was telling Sinawo and Luqmaan and all the senior athletes that we should not underestimate or disrespect our opposition. What you experienced last year, beating Botswana, don't expect a repetition of that, because Bruce Lee taught us very simply in the 1960s, way before my time, but he taught us that never underestimate how an engagement will take place, and also never dictate the outcome of the engagement. Work towards the confrontation, and when you find yourself in the confrontation, then it should be an exchange of chi and energy, like yin and yang.
Absolutely.
And then there'll be a breakdown, and then you know you have your upper hand.
How many people can the venue hold? Patrons that would like to come and support?
So tickets are still available via the Quicket website. Also, in fact, Salma, as the team manager for the SA Youth team, she's made 85 Rand tickets available, which is a 2-day pass for Saturday and Sunday, 2nd, 3rd. But they'll have to just get that directly from the MJ Lee Kung Fu Foundation. There is a WhatsApp number, 065 596 1049. We still have a few available. We do have a gallery upstairs, which I know Sunday is packed already. So we, on average, I anticipate, based on the numbers that we've seen, we probably will have about 275 spectators on Saturday. And then on Sunday, inshallah, for the finals, and there will also be a Masters Gold division that I will be involved in. So that's a kind of like an attraction also. Besides those international exhibition fights, also attraction. But I know beyond 320 seats have already been taken up. So we can still accommodate maybe 20, 30 more maximum. Beyond that, the events permit of the city has dictated otherwise.
Of course. Now, I would imagine there are logistics around an
Absolutely.
event like this as well. Security would obviously be a form of concern, and also medical aid, things
Yes.
like that. First aid, you've catered for that?
We had to, because our event is on the official registry of the City of Cape Town. If you visit the City of Cape Town's website, you will find Second Africa Youth Kung Fu Championship with the dates. It's across all their social media platforms, and they are our strategic partner. So part of the prerequisites of us hosting an international championship would be that we have to apply for an events permit, alhamdulillah, which we've acquired. Secondly, there has to be medics suitably qualified on site for both days, which we have, because there is contact, but not like UFC and MMA. And,
gotcha.
you know, we have rules, obviously, that must be applied. It's not brawling and ordinary street fighting. And then the same applies to security. We're thankful to AML Tactical, local company. They're providing security for both days, a local company that has just started off. And I think it's about that, Luqmaan. It is about that.
Right.
We have this beautiful T-shirt, which is the official T-shirt for the SA Youth Team, designed by Fika, a local brand in Cape Town.
I wanted to touch on that because she's also very instrumental in designing the T-shirts for the Palestinian cause.
No, Rahma Jaffi is amazing.
And I've seen some of the wonderful T-shirts being worn at the Palestinian soccer game we had recently, and in and around some of our events in Cape Town as well. So well done, local. I like that you're supporting local,
absolutely.
markets as well.
Absolutely. So I think we're thankful to Fika as a sports brand. They've also assisted the squad with, additional requirements, which I appreciate. And that's about these strategic partnerships. AML Tactical, OCAF South Africa, Mr. Harun Kala, they've assisted us with all of our development work in the province going back 10 years. And they're one of our partners now. So we're thankful to OCAF South Africa, Mikhail Collier, Auto Monarch in Strand, Osmond stores just around the corner. It's the local businesses that have actually supported us.
Brilliant. We've got MJ Lee in studio chatting to us about the Second Africa International Youth Kung Fu Championship that's happening on the 2nd and 3rd of March at the Fairbairn College. Do go out and support. After the break, we bring in a young man who is not only the captain, but also the reigning champion as well. We're going to chat to him, put him through the ringers, see whether he can handle this ring.
Maybe not.
I think he does. He's very capable. Join us after the break. You're still watching Hilaal Live. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Hilaal Live. Thanks for joining us on Channel 347. Just before the break, we started our interview with local world Kung Fu champion MJ Lee around the Second Africa International Youth Kung Fu Championship that's taking place this weekend at Fairbairn College, only 5 days away. Can you believe it? And we're now joined by a young man that I had in studio a couple of months ago, who is just an amazing young man, and I love having him in studio. So now, Yola, assalamu alaikum, good evening and welcome.
Walaikum assalam.
Thank you so much. You said that so lovely. I know you practice.
Got the tajweed.
With absolute tajweed as well. You're looking fit, you're looking ready for the competition. What's the training been like as the captain and as the defending champion as well? Well, I just love saying that.
There was a dramatic pause.
Yeah, I know, right? You had to digest it. You're talking about me. Yes, I'm actually talking about you.
Yeah, so as the captain and as the defending captain of this championship, I feel like my training had to be, besides physical, it had to be mental.
Gotcha.
And besides just practicing and training intensively, I had to be the backbone of my teammates. For them, it's their first championship.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So they're like, what am I expecting? So for me, it's just to be their guide, because Shifu is always there, but he's there to give us instruction. And me as the captain, I'm there to help them ease into it.
There's a different relationship you would have with your teammates, your colleagues, and also carrying that proverbial flag, for South Africa, welcoming all the other countries. You gotta, although they're your competition, off the ring, outside of the ring, you got to be all cordial and just welcoming as well. What's that like?
It's very strange, because the moment they enter the country, it's all smiles. It's all smiles. We're all giddy with each other.
Yeah.
And then the minute they enter, I don't know them.
Wow.
I don't
Okay, so
know
it's a different
Yeah.
mindset that you're on. But it's fun and games, all cordial as well. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you're such a gentleman that you will welcome them with open arms as well. You're looking forward to the countries coming through?
Yeah, most specifically Botswana, because they have our number.
Right. It's always, I was chatting to someone the other day who is a sports fan, and they were saying for second place or second division, it's easier for them to get to first because they have something to work towards. Being number one is tough because you have to retain. You've got nothing. You've got no benchmark. Well, you've got a benchmark, but you've got no goal to reach because you're already at the top. But I'm sure it's a very different mindset that took you through the last couple of months. What was training like? Did you push yourself a bit extra? Did you eat a bit less? Did you watch your diet? Talk us through that.
Well, for training, it became 10 times more intense.
So what was the schedule like? Morning, evening?
It's as soon as I wake up, it's the jog. And then around 9, I'm gone out of sight because I start gymming.
Right.
Gymming lasts for 3 hours after gymming, and then I'm going into training, self-training.
Sure.
And then
when you say self-training, is it a lot of meditation? Is a lot of...
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Then about 3 times in the week, I join the team, train together for 3 hours again, and then we come back afterwards.
Okay, so we know you're one to look out for. Who else in the team are you expecting good results from?
Saifullah Shafika.
Nice.
He for me, every time when I enter into a championship, I always have trust in him.
Gotcha.
Because he is our wall,
of course,
as our team. Because I'm sure Shifu mentioned this the last time. He is technically disabled, but he competes with the abled.
Brilliant.
And if you see him in every championship, he inspires each and every one of us because he doesn't let his disability change his opinion about himself.
And he's always been like it. I know him from Yehai, and he's just the most amazing youngster.
So for us, when you see him compete, it's another edge. So we compete at a different level every time we see him. Yeah.
Okay. And who else should we look out for?
Luqmaan, definitely the vice captain.
Right.
Without that Gatsby, I think we
stand a good chance. Okay, awesome.
Shape, and Zaire Polis, who we've missed him as a team.
Okay.
He came back, and then the spark was back from 2018. We felt like kids again.
Wow.
And the child just molded like something else.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to that as well. And I'm looking forward to big things. Congratulations once again on getting this far, because I know without you guys, this tournament wouldn't have been instrumental as well. And obviously with MJ as well. What else can we expect this weekend? I mean, is there a bit of a lineup that we can expect?
Certainly, there is. We have a few special guests that will be attending. A few members of National Parliament will be attending. The Deputy Mayor, Alderman J.P. Smith, our local ward councillor, because it's a big deal for her.
For sure.
And she's always there when we're having local tournaments. She avails herself. Very happy about that. A very good friend of mine, because it's close to my heart and many humanitarians. He's doing his PhD in political science at UCT. He's from Gaza.
Okay.
He's been in Cape Town for the last 3 years doing his PhD. Ihab. He's from Khan Yunis. He's lost some family and friends with the assault on Gaza over the last couple of months. He'll be one of our special guests because I asked him, please come and be one of our guests. You're going to chat to the athletes at night. We can have like an informal discussion on our support as Africans that we can render to Palestine, because we should understand that oppression. So I'm very happy that he's attending. And then there's a Black American grandmaster from the States who trained with my Shifu, Grandmaster Wang. He was the first Black American to go to the Shaolin Temple in China, way before my time. We're talking like early 80s. He was there at the time when Jet Li was still pretty much finding his way. So Grandmaster Lausche Scott, he'll be in Cape Town. He travels now back and forth, Southern Africa, US, because he has business interests. So he's specifically going to be here, and he's excited to see.
And the elephant in the room, or excuse me, the trophy in the room that we can't ignore because it's in my peripheral vision as well. You can't miss it. How beautiful is this?
It is.
Trophy?
See now
you're looking forward to bringing this one. Is this the new one?
This is the new one. This is the winning trophy.
Gotcha.
So part of that lineup that you mentioned is the special guests, etc. We've got a lion dance, which is the tradition in Chinese Kung Fu. And then a lot of the international athletes will be competing on the first day already. So from 11 o'clock the Saturday morning, Botswana will already be up in finals 1 against South Africa. So Sinawo, Saifullah, Luqmaan, Sishle, one of our top athletes, also Uzair, Kumaid, they are actually competing. And Kumirai, one of my top athletes, originally from Zimbabwe, but a South African citizen now. I'm looking forward to that. We've got the exhibition fights, which I don't think is really important because it's an Africa Youth Championship.
Right.
We will rumble in our way. And then day 2 is the day set for the final. Okay. So this trophy is what Botswana and South Africa is going to be going head to head for by 5 p.m. on Sunday, the 3rd of March. We will know who raises this trophy and who will be crowned AYKF 24 Southern African champions.
Brilliant. Okay, so the scene is set for 24. Beyond 24, I'm sure you've already started planning for next year.
We have a lot of countries, especially Africa, they have significant complications. Okay. So if we can continue our partnerships with government, local, provincial, and national, and also acquire more support of big business for us to expand the footprint, because I'd love Kenya to be here. Lovely. I'd love Nigeria to come.
Kunfu nation.
Yeah, absolutely. Tanzania, also known for Kunfu. Wow. Burundi, these countries expressed an interest, but our borders have become, and hats off to national government, our borders have become tremendously controlled now. You cannot just enter and leave when you want. You need valid passports, no more temporary emergency travel documents. So a lot of the athletes from the other countries wanted to enter via that route. And we had to set a precedent and say, no, you won't be allowed to. Okay. Because we traveled out of South Africa over the border to Botswana and we saw the complexities 2 years ago. Sure. So we had first-hand experience. So we want to build on that. So 2025, maybe bring it a little bit forward because Ramadan is also becoming earlier. So we've earmarked the first week in Feb for 2025. And then if Grandmaster Wang, my Shifu, he was a bit ill this year, so he's not traveling outside of China and the United States, he will definitely be at the top of our invitation list. And possibly 1 or 2 very well-known movie stars. But I mean, we can't talk about that now.
Well, nothing wrong with that. Hopefully we see him in Feb. Yes. Very quickly, tell our audience when and how they can support you guys over this weekend.
So please come and support the South African youth Kung Fu team, Sinawo Yola and his charges. They are defending champions. 2nd, 3rd of March, this weekend, the place to be. Fairbairn College, starting at 9 a.m. Saturday and Sunday, concluding at 6. Who will be 2024 AYKF Southern African champions? We are working hard to retain the trophy. Get your tickets at Quicket or the MJ Lee Kung Fu Foundation. And importantly, it's about the legacy.
I agree.
Because a lot of the ticket sales for the weekend will go to my learners from Bonteheuwel, from Langa, from Guguletu, their family members, where we can also help them academically with their tuition, with their uniforms, with their school fees, and also at home. Because I don't only want to be known as a Kung Fu champion. Firstly, I want to be a humanitarian. My late mother, Allah yarham, always taught me that if you truly want to be remembered long after you have gone, then in your worldly life, you must keep company of those everyone have forgotten.
Wise mom, definitely. Captain, my captain, all the very best for this weekend. I know you're going to do us proud. MJ, once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
I think we wish you all the very best for the tournament, and may all your efforts grow from strength to strength, inshallah. Well, that's the trophy we'll be looking forward to. We'll be watching the social media posts, and for those of us that unfortunately can't attend, but for those of you who can, please go out and support as well. From the technical team in Cape Town, Sahel Barnes, and from myself, Luqmaan Shadrach, we wish you a lovely evening. Assalamu alaikum.